Example 1, we need to state the inverse of h of x, and then evaluate the inverse of h of x at -3. This little -1 here just means the inverse of whatever function is stated to the left. So the thing with inverses is that the x's and the y's are just switched. So if we want to write the inverse of h of x, and that's exactly how you would say this. This is just a set of ordered pairs. We're going to keep the curly braces, and I'm going to write down all of these real quick here. You don't have to do it like this, you can do it just one at a time if you want. Close it in the curly brace. And all we do is we just switch the x and the y. So this is 6, -4, -3, 0, -6, 2, and then 7, 3. All of the x's and y's are just flipped or switched. We now want to evaluate the inverse for an input of -3. So here's the inverse. The x position needs to be -3, and we're wondering what is the output. So as we go along, we see an input here of -3, and the output is 0. So the inverse of h at -3 is 0. You could have done this a little differently. This does say state the inverse, so we did need to write out this portion. However, if it just said evaluate the inverse of h at -3, you could go to the y's, find a -3, and then go backwards to the input, because those inputs and outputs, or those x's and y's, will just be switched for the inverse.